economy is strong as hell. The internals of it. Inflation is worldwide. It's worse off everywhere else than it is in the United States.
What is wrong with him? The economy is strong as hell. Really? This is strong? That is a falsehood. Inflation is not worse everywhere else. A number of countries, including Japan and France, you've heard of them, they've reportedly fared much better than we have. Today at the White House, Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre in her notebook said critics should be quiet because, trust her, they're taking inflation very seriously, right?
The president is going to get out there, as we have said multiple times, to make sure that he's talking directly to the American people about how we are delivering on our promises, delivering on how we're really taking inflation seriously.
Those are words. You string them together, they still don't mean anything. Many economists suggesting the White House really not taking it seriously at all. The White House continues to push more government spending. And as we all know, that is a major cause of inflation. How can they honestly say they're doing everything they can to bring prices down? Let's meet tonight's party panel. We've got Independent Women's Forum senior policy analyst Inez Stepman is back, along with Democrat pollster and co-host of The Five on the Fox News channel, Dr. Jessica Tarlov, and the director of the Libertarian Institute, editorial director of antiwar.com, Scott Horton. He's there. He is somewhat happy right now. Hi. Hopefully we can get him in a cantankerous mood, because that's when he's at his best. All right, so Inez, even if we are smack dab in the middle of a recession, even if it's not now, let's say it's sometime in the spring, do you think the White House will continue to change the definition of words like recession?
Well, this is what happens when you think you can rely on the media to essentially pump out the party line for you repeatedly. You get this kind of arrogance where he can appear completely dismissive. And that really, I think, is hurting him incredibly with voters, because they don't see that he's taking it seriously. They see him changing the definition of recession and sort of getting mad at the media for whenever they ask any kind of questions about this. And at the end of the day, if we go into a recession, things are going to get much worse for American families who are already struggling with the inflation. They're already have, tighter budgets than they used to. What happens if in a recession, a lot of us start to lose our jobs? So, we don't have a lot of savings. This is already eating into a lot of American savings. So this situation could get a lot worse, and it's being made worse by an administration that just refuses to take it seriously and seems to rely on the media to carry their water. But that's not flying with the American people, I don't think.
Yeah, savings in the last 2 years down 83%. A lot of Americans, most Americans, the vast majority actually, don't have a cushion if something bad happens, if they need car repairs or emergency dental work or something like that, where normally you have a little cash tucked away. A lot of people don't have that, and even fewer are going to, Jessica, if the Fed is successful, because one of the aims of raising interest rates is to also raise unemployment.
Absolutely. I mean, we used to, a couple of years ago, I feel like there was that stat out there at the end of the Obama years about, a majority of Americans didn't have enough for a medical emergency. And now we're obviously talking about way bigger numbers. I don't think this is just a messaging problem. I think that it's very hard for people who have kept unemployment low, who are having record jobs growth, to face the fact that there are other things, other levers of our economy that are not going right. And it's incredibly frustrating. And we see politicians, this is not unique to Democrats or to Joe Biden, getting personal about it, right? It feels like an affront when you're told, like, the thing that you're doing is terrible, right? Or this is all your fault. But if you kind of live by the sword, you die by the sword. And I think that one of the most under-discussed points about the ice cream interview, where he said the economy is strong as hell, is that he was in Oregon, where we may lose a few House seats there. We may lose the governorship there. Obviously, it's a state you know a lot about.
Kate Brown is horrible. I hope they all get voted out.
Kate Brown is, she's term limited. Yeah.
No, I understand that, but I hope they vote in an entirely new wave of politicians in Oregon, because between Ted Wheeler and Mike Schmidt and Kate Brown, they have run the state into the ground, including Portland, and shame on them and shame on him for dismissing people's pain, because this is what we've seen the entire time, and this is why the Fed and the president have been so incredibly unserious about a dire economic situation, and it is causing real pain, and the pain is only going to get worse. How bad can it get, Scott Horton?
Well, it can get a lot worse. Listen, I know people hear this all the time. It's said all the time. It's just as true as it could be. Ron Paul was right about this and about everything else. Our entire monetary system is completely corrupt and crooked and wrong. So what we're talking about here, we're kind of coming and going at the same time here. The inflation is the result of all the monetary inflation. The price inflation we're feeling is the result of all the monetary inflation and the expansion of the money supply from during the lockdown period. Now, a lot of the pain that you're talking about here, other than the inflation, is this recession, which is what the Federal Reserve is trying to inflict on our economy.
Yes.
That's why they're raising the rates. They're trying to force a recession because that's the only cure for all the inflation that they caused. And so the American people get it coming and going. And of course, as you talk about, they want to force people out of work to decrease upward pressure on wages. But what does that mean? That means people got to live outside. That means people lose custody of their children. That means that people die of drug abuse, that they're victims of crime. On the lowest level, people are put completely out. And it's all the Federal Reserve's fault. We need a 100% gold standard in this country and to abolish the central bank.
I'm so glad you brought that up, Scott Horton. That's going to be in my memo in just a couple of blocks right here on the show, that very topic.
Right then.
Thank you for setting that up.